Welcome back. The short-term power market, comprising transactions through bilateral exchanges, power exchanges and unscheduled interchange, has witnessed significant growth in the past few years. The volume traded through power exchange increased 3 times during 2007-8 and 2010-11 to 43 billion units. During the same period, the share of trading in total generation more than doubled to reach 5.3% in 2010-11. This shows there is room for much more as both developers and utilities turn to energy markets for optimizing their portfolios.
In 2010-2011, short-term power market witnessed expansion consolidation. Of the short-term transaction, bilateral contract executed through trading license and direct transfer comprised the majority 46.53%. Trade through power exchange constitute 19%, while UI transaction constitute the remaining short-term transaction at 34%.
The last 2 years have seen multiple participants, and participants when we talk about in the hundreds and thousands, coming and participating through an anonymous yet completely transparent and efficient power markets which are called exchanges. So if you actually look at the trajectory of growth of exchanges, the last 2 years have been phenomenal to say the least.
As of August 2011, there were 52 trading licenses and 2 power exchange operating in the country. Another significant development was launch of renewable energy certificates trading in power exchange since March 2011. The number of RECs issued and redeemed has been increasing since its launch.
Whatever indications that we are seeing in last 3 to 4 months, we are finding a lot of buy bids, lot of sell bids, and a lot of clearances as well. So going forward, we feel that there will be more and more certificates, but the success will depend on how states bring out their RPOs. And if they are able to enforce RPOs, then this market has a very bright future.
The power market continued to suffer from issues of grid congestion in 2010-2011. During the year, the actual volume transacted could have been 5% had there been no congestion in the system. Also on price front, in comparison to 2009-10, the unit registered lower prices in 2010 and 11. The decline in prices can be attributed to a number of factors. For instance, various distribution utilities chose load shedding option rather than procuring short-term power to meet power shortages due to huge technical and commercial loss that are adversely affecting the financial health of the distribution utilities.
This kind of price which we are seeing now is not because of just competition. This is more because of the ability of some of the DISCOMs that they are not able to buy. And the simple reason is they have not brought out tariff reforms. Tariff orders, tariff revision has not taken place for many utilities for many years. So what is happening that distribution utilities are incurring losses at each unit of additional electricity sold in the market to the consumers, because the cost of supply and the tariff, there is a gap, and means the more you buy, the more losses you incur. And states have not been providing subsidies as they had been, they were supposed to provide. So the burden has gone on DISCOMs.
Regulatory focus on the power trading market has been high. The aim is to ensure that short-term market becomes an effective platform for price discovery. Full implementation of open access to distribution network is yet to be achieved. The reason for this continued resistance on the part of state utilities, which fear the loss of high-value industrial consumers. The lack of open access acts as a major hurdle for power producers who wish to enter the market.
Number 1 megawatt and above, there are huge number of consumers, industrial consumers of course, but as a first step, we have to open up the market for these 1 megawatt consumers, because some of the states are very conservative. They are applying lot of cross-subsidy surcharge and not really facilitating their industrial consumers to buy cheaper from alternate sources. So if the states, regulatory commissions and state transmission utilities allow open access to their industrial consumers, there will be a huge market.
Though the fixing of trading margins by CERC is aimed to protect consumers against unusually high prices, the fixed margin methods puts a cap on trading profits. With increasing competition, Traders and exchanges will have to continue innovating and offer new services and products to increase the depth of these markets. All these developments are expected to enhance participation and higher growth of power market. Time for another short break. Keep watching Power News. Welcome back. The construction company is one of the largest economic activities contributing to India's development. India has been witnessing tremendous growth in building and construction sector for the past 5 years. In a scenario where India tries to accelerate its development process and cope with increasing energy demands, conservation and energy efficiency measures are to play a central role in our energy policy. Many technological and other solutions exist to improve building energy efficiency. A growing number of state-of-the-art building projects around the world demonstrate the technological and financial rationale for adopting better energy efficiency designs and systems.
To advance green building movement in the country, the 9th edition of the Green Building Congress 2011, Asia's largest green building conference and exhibition, was held from 20 to 22nd October 2011 in New Delhi. The event was organized by the India Green Building Council, which is a part of CAI, Sorabji Godrej Green Business Center.
In a green building, you use less energy, more daylight, less artificial light and more natural light. The air quality in a green building is also much better, and that's why people like to work in it. And so once people experience it, they will want to use them more often. But I think the challenge is to get people to experience it and know what are the benefits of it.
While inaugurating the event, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, said that the ministry has a task that every government building will be minimum 3-star rated.
Well, we are all promoting green buildings. The Government of India has already taken the task of every Government of India's building will be a 3-star and above 3-star building. And we hope that every other state will also do. And now when you are seeing this corridor that is coming up between Delhi and Mumbai, all the towns that will come up on that thing will be all entirely green. The energy will be green. It will be completely environment friendly towns that will come up on that. So we hope that that will be the start for every town becoming green in future.
India has been witnessing tremendous growth in the building and construction sector for past 5 years. With the increase in income levels, there is also change in the lifestyle of the various sections of the society. While this is a healthy trend, it is putting enormous pressure on the resource demand like energy, water, material, etc.
Schneider Electric's vision of green buildings is very clear. It is sustainable, high-performance building, and I will explain to you why. High performance because we owe a high performance to the planet, of course, energy efficiency to counter climate change. We owe high performance to people because we know that in green building environments, people are more productive, people feel better, people are less sick. And finally, we owe high performance to our profits because buildings that are green have lower operation costs.
Green building concepts have come to the mainstream in commercial space development, but need to be encouraged more for wider market acceptance. With the modest beginning of 20,000 square feet of green footprint in the year 2001, today over 300 green buildings has been constructed all over India.
The major bottleneck has been the public is not yet aware that the green building does not cost much more than a normal building. Still the impression is the green building means cost 15-20% more. In reality, it costs only 2% more. And 2% is payback within less than 1 year. So once our NBC addendum comes out, people will start practicing it, knowing it does not cost more to make it green.